के शाम को खाया।
नेक्स्ट ईयर पक्का। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर विमल जसु, जो दायकु फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहे, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। दिख ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपत दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि, जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। ताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, अस पर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय। और देवता चित्तन धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंदी महा सुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साकी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय डेरा पवतरे सकट हरन बगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। Happy Shivratri. Yesterday was Shivratri. So let's start with a short story which is probably not related to this, or probably it is. We'll see. Now when Ram Jalam happened, right? It happens again and again. And Shivji was sitting up there and he said that now my Ram is 5 years old and I want to go and live with him. Now Parvati ji was sitting with Shivji on Kailash. And she got really upset. She said, oh my God, you cannot go anywhere. Half the time you are in Samadhi. Now you want to leave me and go and live with Ram. If this happens, you will not find me when you return. So you are not going anywhere. So Shivji says, calm down, calm down. I am not going anywhere. Just see what is going to happen. And suddenly, he from one of his 11 Rudras turned one of the Rudras into a small little monkey. And that was no other than Hanuman. So this little Hanuman. And then Parvati was looking at him and she was amazed. She said, that is also Shiv. This is also Shiv. One is going to play the Dabru and one is going to dance. So she said, I'm not going to sit here. I also want to come with you and I want to see what happens over there. But Shivji says, don't worry, I'll give you Divya Chakshu. You'll be able to sit here. It's like a live streaming. You'll be able to sit here and see what is happening down there in Ayodhya. So just sit here and enjoy the show. Parvati ji was amazed. She started touching the legs of Shiva. She said, look, what is your Maya? You, Shiv, him, Shiv, both of you together in different rooms are going to go and entertain Ramji. She said, this is not my Maya, it is his Maya. And with such desperation, because Shivji was waiting to go and live with Ram now. And so he went down. And what happens when the Dabru starts playing? The minute the Dabru starts playing and the monkey is there, when the Madari comes, the first people to get attracted to the sound of the Dabru are the kids. So all the children in Ayodhya came out along with Ram, Lakshman, Shatrughan, and Bharat. All of them, they came out and they just wanted to look at the beautiful show. So Shivji started playing and Hanumanji, he looked at Ram and he knew that his birth had been only to serve Ram. There was no other reason for his creation. And Shivji himself was overwhelmed that he was able to see that divine once again at the age of 4 and 5. Many people decide to look at Ramji at the age of 4 and 5. We saw in Ramayana that Kagbasundi also came at that age. So he is standing there and he is playing the Dabru. And Hanumanji is dancing with tears in his eyes. And Ramji is clapping and laughing and he is enjoying. And everybody up there, Raja Dashrath, down there, all the queens, all the entire Ayodhya is mesmerized. After all, they would be. When Shivji is the Madari and Hanumanji is the Mandar, and when they are playing, who all would not be mesmerized? So entire universe stayed still to see what will happen next. And then suddenly, Lord Shiv, he tugged at Hanuman. He stopped playing and he asked Hanuman to stop. Hanumanji stopped dancing. Shivji stopped playing. And he said, now I am going. Now Hanumanji looked at Ramji. He said, I have come to stay with you. And now this Shiv Baba is going to take me away. Do something. How can you let me go? The entire objective was for me to come and stay with you. Now Ramji looked at Hanumanji and through the language of eyes, he said, okay. And he started crying. Now when he started crying, he nudged Bharat. Bharat started crying. Then from there, Bharat nudged Shatrughan. Shatrughan started crying. He and Lakshman started crying. The entire 4 children were crying very loudly. When they started crying, all the other children started crying. And then suddenly, Raja Dashrath shouted from upstairs, what's the problem? Why are the children crying? He said, no, they were watching the show. The show is over and they are crying and we are trying to pull them inside. They are not going. So Raja Dashrath said, okay, what do the children want? They said, they want that monkey. But how can we keep a monkey in the king's house? Will it look good? Raja Dashrath said, what will not look good? Just give whatever Shivji wants and take the monkey. So these Matajis went. First of all, they were pulling the children away. And now they suddenly wanted the monkey. So now Shivji also decided to become arrogant. She said, what do you want? Can you please give us the monkey? He said, this monkey is not for sale. He is through him I earned my livelihood. How can I give this monkey to you? He said, see, we'll give you whatever you want. They got diamonds and rubies and everything. Now these poor mothers did not know who were they giving the diamonds and rubies to. Shivji himself, who by just merely looking at a mountain can turn it to diamond, rubies, gold, whatever he wants, the one through which the entire universe comes into being, can be given anything. And then they started pleading. And Shivji started negating. He said, no, I don't want, I can't give my monkey this and that. And he said, fine. If you're insisting so much, let me tell you there is a very big problem with my monkey. He said, what? This monkey needs to dance every day. And somebody has to play the dabru. And if we don't play the dabru, this monkey will fall ill. So you have to play the dabru so that he can dance. Who in your family can actually play the dabru and make the monkey dance? Oh, then Kaushalya said, oh, yes, you're very right. You please take him away. We don't want him. It's all right. And they started pulling Ramji away when Ramji caught hold of Shivji's dabru and he started playing the dabru. When he started playing the dabru, Hanumanji started dancing with joy. Not only Hanumanji, Shivji started dancing with joy. Oh, up there, Raja Dashrath started dancing with joy. The entire Praja started dancing with joy. Over here, slowly, even the queen started dancing. And all the little brothers started dancing with joy. And he played. And he looked at his mother, Kaushalya. And he asked, Soma, what do you think? Can I play the dabru? You know, right? Now I can play the dabru. So is it okay? Can I keep that monkey now? Kaushalya smiled and he said, stop it. Stop playing it. You are exposing everybody else also, along with yourself. Don't do this. And without taking anything, Shivji gave the monkey, Hanumanji, to Ramji. And Shivji suddenly disappeared. And thereon it is said that Hanumanji lived in Ayodhya with Ramji till Ramji actually went off for Gurukul studies and later on for killing Tatka. And at that time, he asked Hanumanji to go back and help Raja Sugriv because he was having a problem with his brother Bali. It's a very small, simple story, but the essence of this is very, very deep. Ramji, Shivji and Hanumanji together putting forward a show, and they are showing us something that we need to see very clearly. What is it that they are trying to tell us? What is Shivji telling Parvati? What is Hanumanji speaking? What is Ramji saying? And what is Kaushalya indicating at as him exposing everybody else and the self and saying stop playing? What is it? What is this entire story indicating? Yes, of course, the love of Shivji for Vishnu and Ram and the love of Hanumanji. Hanumanji was actually made to serve Ram only, right? And Ramji himself. What is this entire, if you look deeper into the story, what does it try to tell us? What does it try to tell us? What is Shivji? What does Shivji actually stand for? We keep saying, right? Become like Shiv, be like Shiv. We keep saying Shivoham, Shivoham. What does Shivji actually stand for? What does Hanumanji actually stand for? What does Ramji actually stand for? When we say so many festivals and we say Mahashivratri, what is the objective of Mahashivratri? Why? Okay, refraining from food and staying awake at night, the energies are definitely very high. What is the main objective?
Connecting to the higher self.
Connecting to the higher self. Yes, definitely that is. What else? Hanumanji is nothing but bhakti, right?
Practicing the quality probably.
Yes. Hanumanji is nothing but bhakti. What is Ram? Ram is the self. And what is Shiv? What is that Shiv? We say, right? When if you look at the Shastras, they'll say, Shiv is through which the entire thing comes into projection. It is clearly mentioned in this book also, when they are talking about Shivji. Where is it? We'll find it. Shivji is him through which everything comes. The source of the universe is Shiv. He is the source of the universe. And when he is the source of the universe, everything is in him, right? When he is telling Parvati that I'm not going to go and stay there in this form. See what I am going to do. He takes one of his Rudras. Now there are thousands and thousands of Rudras through which the universe is made. He takes one Rudra and makes him Hanuman. He's just nothing but Shiv. And then Shiv, Hanumanji said, I have come to stay with you only, Ram. Bhakti is always to stay with the Lord, right? So the entire universe, which is created by Lord Shiva, is only to reach that divine. There is no other reason for it. And this is what the three of them are telling us in such a small way. And when we say Mahashivratri, it is only that please go back to your own source, that is Shiv. You are nothing but Shiv because he is the one through which everything comes out. And the only objective of our existence is to unite with our higher self or the Lord. There is no other. Actually, in one word or one line, the entire essence of the entire creation is to unite with the divine. Nothing else. And this entire story is telling just this. And what is that damru when he starts playing, everybody starts dancing? That is grace. He's always playing the damru. She says, right, don't start playing it. We all will get lured. We all will get exposed. We all will forget that we have different roles to play right now. Don't do that. Stop. Stop. And you're exposing yourself also. You can keep your bhakti with you. So, Mahashivratri is just trying to tell us this is your objective, nothing else. And this is something that we should remember every second of the day. That everything that we are doing is for only reuniting with ourself and that divine. That's it. So if we have that objective in mind, every day becomes Mahashivratri. Every day becomes Mahashivratri. So with this story of Shivji, we'll enter Shrimad Bhagwat Mahapurana again. Now in Bhagavatam, we have started the section of Poshan. Poshan is nurturing. Nurturing this divine state that we again talked about. The divine state of the self, the state of being, the state of oneness with the Lord. So what nurtures it? The name of the Lord nurtures it. So that we did in the first 3 chapters. That what is the importance of the name of the Lord which nurtures that divine state, right? So name of the Lord, if you keep taking the name of the Lord, it helps you stay established in the knowledge of Shivoham. I am Shiv. There is nothing else but me. And I am meant to realize the true self. So every time when we are chanting the name of the Lord, He is cleansing us, purifying us, reminding us that you are me. You are just like me. You are me, and your purpose of existence is to become like me, is to know me, is to be me. Tattvamasi aham brahmasmi, nothing else. Everything else is futile. Everything else is a situation you have been put into so that you can know yourself. There is no other reason for what is happening around you. In your previous birth, you had chosen this situation so that you can further your spiritual journey. That's it, full stop. So we saw that, okay, first 3. So this is Poshan. Now what else can be the Poshan? Now while he was talking about Poshan, Raja Pariksit is now talking to Shukdevji. Now who is Raja Pariksit? Raja Pariksit is the grandchild of Arjun, the son of Abhimanyu. Shukdevji is the son of Vedvyas and a disciple of Raja Janak. So now Raja Pariksit has only 7 days to live. So he has so many questions to ask. So many a time what he does is, he interrupts the flow and he asks. So when we were talking about something, he suddenly interrupted the flow and he said, my God, how can I atone for all my sins? There must be a way. So they started talking about sins. And then he said, okay, so there are different realms in which hells exist. And then they suddenly started talking about geography. And now Shukdevji is bringing him back to the lineage which he was talking about after Sarga, Visarga. Then he talked about Sthiti and now he's talking about Poshan. So he's going back to the lineage and he's saying, see, we were talking about the lineage of Priyavrat, right? We completed it with Bharat and it went on. And he's saying that there was this Raja Daksha, if you remember. Raja Daksha was who? Sati's father. In that initial first Manvantar, right? And then there was a fight and everything happened. He was beheaded and he got a goat head. It just so happened that when he got the goat head, he could not live for very long. He felt very awkward about his goat head. He repented and he did his tapasya and he left his body. Right? And he was reborn as the son of the Pracetas. You know, the 10 Pracetas, the son of Pracinabarhi, right? And these Pracetas had the son named Daksha. They married Marishi, the daughter of a nymph who was nurtured by the plants. Remember when the Pracetas came out and they got so angry because the entire earth had turned into a jungle and they started destroying all the plants. When Brahmaji and the moon god came in and they consoled him and he said, why don't you marry her? Because everybody is one, everybody is needed. So why don't you marry her and take forward your lineage instead of fighting and destroying? So they married her and they had a son called Daksha again. Now Daksha, Raja Daksha, is said to have already been born and had come to existence in the first Manvantar. But he did not carry forward any lineage in that Manvantar. What he actually did was, he knew that the next, in one of the Manvantars, he will have to take forward the job of creation. So if he wanted a very nice lineage, he would have to invest into a lot of tapa. So not only, just imagine how much a Manvantar is, 71.5 chakra of yugas. He sat there and did tapas for so many Manvantars, and then he came and he realized that now the creation has to start. So Raja Pariksit is saying, oh, so he was dormant. He said, yes, he was preparing for the right strong lineage to come. And when he thought that he was ready, he sat down and he wanted to do the work of creation. Raja Pariksit is listening. And he said, then what happened to Shukadevji? He said he tried to create just like Brahmaji. But Brahmaji at his time was unable to create anything concrete, right? And what did he have to do? He had to go back to the Lord, pray to the Lord and get his grace and his power in order to go in the direction of creating Manu and Shatarupa. In the same way, Raja Daksha was unable to create any stool, any creation which was tangible. And he did not know what to do. So he thought that the creation has to be taken forward. I have to populate the earth. But somehow my power or my spirituality is not enough to actually create human beings with my mere thought. The minute I think, the world comes into existence. The minute I stop thinking, it goes back into me. How will it sustain? How do I sustain this world? So he sat down in prayers, just like Brahmaji. He sat down and he started praying to the Lord. Over here, the first thing that Shukadevji starts with is Prajapati's prayers to the Lord. Now he is calling the Lord when all else fails, right? We'll try our best in all ways and we think that everything is in our control when the Lord himself tells in Gita, nothing is in your control. We still have this false notion and false ego which tells us that we can make a difference when we can't. He does not need us to make a difference. He is capable on his own to direct everything the way he wants to. But we hold on to our false ego and say, ki main kar sakta hu. So Daksha again was holding on to this thing that I can on my own take forward the creation in the direction I want. But it did not work. So again, what did he do? Just like Brahmaji, he turned back to the Lord. Finally, when beaten, broken, everything, he turned back to the Lord. And just imagine, when he prays, it shows what all he has realized in practicing and trying to achieve what he wants to achieve, thinking that he can achieve it on his own. Thinking that he is a doer. The biggest illusion that we have is that we are the doers. When we are not, we are mere puppets in the hand of the Lord. Or it's better to say we are flutes in his hands and he plays the music. Right? All we have to do is empty ourselves. He'll decide how he wants to fill us and what kind of a music is supposed to come out of what kind of an instrument. Or what kind of a flute will play what kind of a music. But what we do is, we try to fill ourselves. We leave no space for the Lord to enter. So he's saying, just empty yourself. Your work is to empty yourself. The rest will follow. So now Daksha understood. Okay, I've been trying and nothing is happening. So it is time to empty myself and call for help. And what does he do is, he starts praying. And the prayer is named as Hamsa Gua. It is a secret prayer. And he's calling the Lord. Prajapati is praying and directing his thoughts towards the Lord. And if you summarize what he has to say, it is very, very beautiful. And in simple terms, I've tried to put it down. And we'll read it and we'll just briefly discuss it. Object of senses to be real, he is beyond cognition. He has realized that the people who think that the object of senses, whatever we can see, feel, think from our senses is real, they will never achieve the Lord. If you think by your analytical thinking, your mind, your intellect, your research, your analysis, your tapa, you can get to Lord, you can't. Because he is beyond the object of senses. He is beyond our thinking. He is beyond our imagination. So if a person thinks that this world is real and through this world I can achieve him, he can't. This is his first realization. In his prayers he says that I have realized that I can't. Then Lord is not elsewhere. He lives in all of us. So why are we searching for him everywhere else? He is in us as our friend. The search should end there. He is there all the time. As our friend, dwelling in us, and He is the observer. He's looking at everything and He's perceiving everything, and He cannot be delusioned about anything because He is the witness of what it is, what is happening. So He's not elsewhere somewhere. He's in us, in spite of the fact that we can't know Him through our senses. And He is the one who is observing everything that is happening. And He does not fall into the notion of perceptions, ki acha hua, bura hua, ye hua, hua. He is neutral. He is a neutral witness to whatever is happening around Him. So that is the Lord Raja Daksha is calling for. And He knows. Now just imagine He's saying that I am trying to achieve you, I am trying to reach you. But at the same time, I know that you are infinite and you are unknowable. Nobody can know you. And you are infinite. The limited capacity of our brain cannot capture your essence. Even to the millimeter second, it can't capture essence. So He's telling you, I don't know you. Nobody can know you. You are infinite. So this is what He has understood. But, He says, the pure mind is far from the world of names and forms. Now we can assess our mind. How pure is it? How do we see the world? Do we see the world in names and forms? We do, right? So that means our mind is not pure. A pure mind is beyond the difference of name and form. That pure mind has the capacity of possibly experiencing Him. But till you are involved in that mind of me and pure names and forms, experiencing the Lord is not possible. This is His. Then He says again, pure intellect. Now mind is the monkey mind, right? Intellect is the focused one. He said, even that pure intellect who is trapped in the ego of the smaller self, right? Me as the body, and who does not comprehend that me is not the body, me is that big divine self, again cannot know you. Because a pure intellect will know that there is no me, there is only one, and it is there. That's it. So a pure mind, a pure intellect, who have gone beyond the me as the limited self, to that me as the cosmic reality, to me as name and forms, to me beyond name and forms, is the one who can realize you. And then he is found in the joy of liberation when the Maya has been negated totally. He can only be found when you have 100% negated Maya. How do you negate Maya? And we have always said, how do we negate Maya? By doing the cause and effect analysis. And by reaching to the root cause. Because everything that we see are symptoms, right? What is the main cause of all the ailment, right? The doctors, some things are symptomatic treatments. Some are they go to the root cause and identify it. So this cause and effect is same. When you start doing the cause and effect analysis, you'll start eliminating everything as being real. It is very simple. When you sit down and consciously think, you will be able to come to the conclusion that everything else is false, only that one is real. So whenever you are in a situation, start the cause and effect analysis. And where will the cause lead? The cause is that one only. So through that cause and effect analysis, when you have eliminated Maya totally, what is Maya? Maya is nothing but duality. Right? So you have to totally negate Maya. When you negate Maya, what happens? There are no names and forms. There are no two. There is only one. But then, he is also all the names and forms. Just imagine. Abhi tak he has negated all the names and forms, but he is saying, Arey, but you are all the names and forms, isn't it? Everybody is you. Every form is yours only. Just like Shivji decided to take the form of Hanumanji. Everything is you. So when everything is your name and form, and then he goes on to say that words, intellect, sense and mind cannot be his true nature. Can this be? words, intellect, sense, mind. Can it be the true nature of that divine? No. He's beyond their perception. He is in every name and form, but yet he is not confined to the name and form. He's beyond it. And again he goes on to say, all that happens is Brahman. Now when I was reading the book of Akhandanandji, and he beautifully puts it, there is no demon in our philosophy. All is God. Everything that is happening is nothing but the Lord, be it good or be it bad. There is no philosophy of demon, Rakshasas, nothing. Whatever, whoever, anybody is being motivated to do anything is but the Lord. And the way they have put it is, wherever, from whatever motive, by whatever means or with whatever instruments, for whomsoever or whatever purpose, whatever, however and whosoever, work whoever does by himself or is prompted by someone else to do, all that is Brahman. Just imagine. And it is like, wherever, from whatever motive, from whatever motive, by whatever means, or with whatever instrument, for whomsoever or whatever purpose, whatever, however and whosoever, work whoever does by himself or is prompted by someone else to do, all that is Brahman. So everything that we see around us, may it be good, bad, evil, negative, something that you want to condemn or something that you want to applaud, is him. So be careful. That is why we say, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. Don't condemn, because it is all him. When you start condemning, you're condemning him. That is the danger of operating in this world of duality and Maya. So all that is happening is him. Everything that we see is him. There is no separate demon. It's only one. Because we believe in the philosophy of one. One without a second, ultimate cause of all the causes. Ultimate cause of all the causes, one beyond the second. Now Prajapati is calling him that you are one beyond the second, cause of all the causes. A person, whatever intention he has, if he is prompted also, it is you. Everything that is happening is because you want it to happen exactly like this. There is nothing beyond your control. You are fully in control. Can we actually make a leaf move? We can't. It is all in his control, but we are in this illusion that things are happening and he, poor thing, is not in control. Is it possible? He's saying no. So now he has realized this also. And he says, some through yoga and some through Sankhya. Yoga is union of the two, right? So, in yoga, they say, you have to meet. Yoga hona hai. Connect to him. So, some through yoga, where they say you have to connect to you. Some through Sankhya. We did Sankhya philosophy in detail when we talked about the 25 elements and one Purusha. Purusha and the 25 elements that form the Prakriti. We have done it in book 3. So, these two, where one is saying there is Purusha and Prakriti, one is saying there is name and form and you have to unite. Be it from yoga, Sankhya, everybody is talking about only you. Maybe the means are different, but the indication, the motive, everything is indicating towards you only. Who manifests also. Now, abhi tak he was talking about something which is unmanifested. Now he's saying you manifest also. And you manifest. When you manifest, it is pure sattva, without rajas and tamas. And you manifest. So you manifest also for a big benefit. And you are the inner controller who appears as a deity based on our tendencies. You are actually only one. You are the inner controller. There is no two. There is no denying. But you appear as multiple deities. All the deities that we worship too, based on the tendency of the person who is worshipping. This is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. They accept that based on your vasana, based on your tendencies, you will be attracted to a certain form of that one divine Lord. But ultimately, through them also, they are reaching you only. There is no two. Nowhere. And how? Why is it that one person finds great satisfaction in worshipping a certain form, but the other person finds great satisfaction in worshipping another form? Why? Is one form more powerful than the other? No, all are them only, right? When you're worshipping, most of the prayers, especially, you'll see, especially when you're doing Ganesh prayer also, you say, what? Ajam Nirvikalpa, Nirakara Rupa, and then you say, Parabrahma Rupam, Ganesham Bhajema. That Parabrahma, today I am praying to in the form of Ganesh. There is no two. Now when people ask us, we get confused. You say, simple. That Brahman, today I am worshipping in the form of Ganesh. That is my ruchi for the next few days. That is okay. So based on your tendencies, on your vasanas, you get attracted to a certain form that is conducive to you. But are there multiple deities? No. There is only one. So saying all this, he is calling the divine Lord. He is saying, please come. And towards the end when he says, may that Lord grant my wish, who resorts to the sole of his feet for protection. He has actually gone to the soul of the Lord. He has surrendered. He said, see, nothing makes sense and everything makes sense. There is nothing beyond you. And now I surrender. See, how many manvantars of tapasya, and then he tries to create. Not only, it's not a small duration, that amount, and then he finally says surrender. And then he says, may the Lord grant my wish, who though dwelling in the body of all men as their formless inner controller, appears diversified in the form of different deities according to their individual tendencies formed in the previous lives, and in consonance with the system of worship of recent origin followed by them. Even as the air breathes fragrance of various kinds on coming in contact with odor of different flowers, which is an attribute of the earth, or appears dusky white when the color of the dust is transferred to it. This is a very beautiful statement. Daksha has realized that there is no two, there is only one. He appears different because of our vasanas from our previous births. We have vasanas, if you explain, these are fragrances that we carry birth after birth after birth. They don't go away. Like a jar of pickle, if you remove the pickle, the smell of the pickle remains, right? So these vasanas we carry with us from birth to birth to birth. Based on those vasanas, we are attracted to a certain form, certain religion, plus along with those vasanas, in the situation, in the place where we are born also influences that. But at the end, are there two? No. It is only you. But then, is that wrong to have multiple? No. Because everybody is different, right? Everybody's vasana is different. Everybody has a different smell. Everybody has a different aura. Everybody has a different inclination. So what is wrong in it? He's saying, I know. So it is just like the air gathers the smell of where it is going from. Does not mean the air has an odor. No, it does not have an odor. At the same time, does air have a color? It is colorless. But if it is dusty, it becomes all brown. If there is paint holy, it becomes all green or red. So that's it. That is the only distinction that we see, where there is no distinction whatsoever. And saying this, he's calling out to that one Lord who appears as many, but is only one, and who's a controller and in control of everything. There is nothing but him. And now Shukdevji says that he's calling out with so much of understanding, so much of love, total surrender. Would the Lord not come? Of course the Lord would come. And the Lord descends, and the Lord is very impressed, and he starts talking to Daksha. He said, see Daksha, tumne bulaya, I've come. And try to understand. Again, the Lord is again emphasizing on the same thing. He tried to understand there is no distinction in whatever everybody is doing. Do you know what is a Jambudvip? We had stopped the geography and we had come to a place called Jambudvip. Now, Jambudvip, we used to feel is the entire earth, right? Now, usme we say there is Bharatvarsh. And usme we say there is Bharatkat. Okay? We'll do it in great detail, geography. That's why I stopped, because it requires a lot of understanding. Now, Jambudvip in itself is not the entire earth only. It is earth that we see, the stool part, the tangible element. The entire thing is Bharatvarsh. So what is not Bharatvarsh? What is not Bharatvarsh? What is not ours?
The planets, sun.
So on earth, what is not Bharatvarsh? Everything is Bharatvarsh. Everything is Bharat.
So there was one big mass of land which was known as Pancrea or something, which was broken into 5 parts and all the continents was formed. So that was actually Jambudvip, right?
No.
Then-
जम्बूद्वीप का एक ये पार्ट था.
हाँ, मतलब एक पढ़ा है ना कि जब ये हुआ था तो एक बड़ा लैंड मास था.
Right.
उसका नाम भूलिए, it was Pancrea.
पर हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We mistake it by saying that was Jambudvip.
Yeah. So
But yesterday when I was reading Akhandanandji's thing, it is not the entire Jambudvip. And Jambudvip in itself is not the entire thing. We had sent the synopsis in that there were other islands which are bigger than Jambudvip, 7 of them. And they have been surrounded by 7 oceans, if you remember.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And one ocean is double the size of the other, and one
Yes,
is sweet and one is salty. We had done that much, right?
Yes.
So now this Jambudvip alone is not the entire earth. It is beyond it. Part of it is Bharatvarsh. And that India that we talk about is Bharat Khand.
Bharat
Khand.
Khand. Bharat Khand.
So if we say Bharatvarsh, what is not Bharatvarsh? Look at the philosophy, look at the scriptures. They never talk about division, they talk about unity. They are saying all is one. And Bharatvarsh is a karma bhumi, jahan pe you can come and do and reap the benefit. Or it is beyond, because in others, heavens and all, you can't do any karma, right? You just exhaust your merits. Bharatvarsh is a place. So we think that Bharatvarsh is only that Bharat. No. It is this entire thing. The mass that we see, the tangible element is Bharatvarsh. We'll go into the depth of it when we do. So even Jambudvip का छोटा सा पार्ट भारतवर्ष है और उसका छोटा सा भारत खंड है. Now where do we stand? United again. पूरा ही हमारा है, पूरा ही भारत है. Where is the distinction? So he's saying, Lord comes and he starts talking. He says ki there are various forms of worshipping me, right? Now some do tapa. Tapa, mein yam and niyam. These are very important. So what he's saying is, tapa is my heart. And he's talking to Daksha. And the worship that we do, the ritualistic worship that we do, he says that is my body. Because tap karte ho, to it is not tangible, right? You can't see it. You can experience it. So nam, yam, niyam, something, all are my heart. वो भी जरूरी है. Now ritualistic worship, जो worship करते हो, which is tangible, that is my body, because you make me concrete by that. And then mental activity that we do of, forming a mental picture of the Lord is my exteriors. And then sacrifice, the yagnas that we do are different members of my body. And what is the merit? Mind. All the merits that you get is my mind. Is my mind. And then what? All the gods that you worship through different yagnas are my vital air. So through all these different things, you're reaching out to me and you're giving me a shape and form. You can't say that one means is better than the others. No. Everything together completes me. And that is me. And he says, Brahma the creator, Lord Shiva the source of the human universe, Daksha, Manu, Indra and others are nothing but my manifestations. So where is the question of anything else but Brahma? So he's talking to him and he says that now the thing is, the creation will not happen like it happened at the time of Brahma. ठीक है, उस मनवांतर में he through himself, through his mind, he created Manu and Shatrupa. That is not going to work like that. Now you have to get married, and through that natural process of procreation, you'll have to have children. So Daksh, you have done a lot of tapasya, you're ready. Now you have to marry the daughter of, here, Daksh will marry Askini. Okay? And then you will have children, and through which the procreation will take place in the normal process. In this Manvantar, that is the way it is going to be. And you have to follow the decorum of the Grihastha ashram. Everything has to be done accordingly, and your offspring will be no weaker than the offspring of Brahma. And that creation was no stronger than this creation of yours. So this is what I suggest. Please go and start the creation as this manner. So the Lord takes, he is the Panchajani, the daughter of Panchajana. And her name is Askini also. So Daksh marries her, and the first set of children he has is 10,000 in numbers. 10,000 sons. And now the Raja Daksh, what will a nice father advise his children? At the brahmacharya stage, he'll say, go to tapa. Now if we all have a responsibility of procreation. Right? That is the main reason for creation. Procreation. The Lord wants us to procreate. So what do you have to do? You have to do tapa first. Without tapa, what is the surety of the kind of offspring you breed? So please, all 10,000 of you go to Narayan Sagar or Narayan Sar. Go there where the Pracetas has taken the dips. His father himself, 10 Pracetas, they took a dip, and just by the mere taking of a dip in that sagar, which is far more greater than any oceans, you will be purified totally. This is the power of Narayan. So Daksh sends them, they take the dip, and when they come out, they are all purified. Their ability is beyond comprehension, and they feel that after so much of tap, standing in that Narayan Sagar or Narayan Sar, they are ready to go back and take the responsibility of procreation. But at that time, who comes? Narad Muni comes. Now these 10,000 sons who are ready to go back, follow the orders of his father, who is desperately waiting for the creation to happen, they meet Narad Muni. And Narad Muni is not very keen on sending them back. So Narad Muni sits down and he looks at them. He says, what? You're Mudas. You will do procreation. You will destroy the universe. क्या पता है तुम्हें universe के बारे में? What kind of offspring will you breed? Destruction will be there everywhere. When you don't know the divine himself yet, do you know the end of everything? Do you know the beginning of everything? You're not fit, right? And he says, now these sons are wondering, okay, what is he saying? And the beauty, the way he speaks is, there is a single person in this country which you do not know about, and there is this hole with no outlet, and there is a woman assuming different forms at will, man husband of a herald, rivers running in both ways, houses of 25 materials, swans, and then he talks about sharp and strong movements, independent and revolving, and that omniscient father. So he's mentioning them, he's telling that what do you know about this world? कुछ पता भी है क्या? And he describes the world in these many words. And these 10,000 sons are shocked. They thought they are ready, they are pure enough, and they can go and start procreation. He said, what kind of a procreation will you do? You're not even ready, you're not even fit, you don't know anything. Don't even try. They sit down. He says, similarly, without fully knowing the country inhabited by a single person, the whole with no visible outlet, the woman assuming different forms at will, and even so the man who is the husband of a herald, the river running both ways, both forward and backward, the wonderful house built on 25 materials, the swan at one place, which has a strange story to tell, and something exceptionally sharp and strong, as though made of razor and adamant, independent and revolving, and without having understood the command of your omniscient Father, suitable for you, how will you proceed with the work of creation? हम तो creation करने आगे निकल जाते हैं ना. We are ready. We are always ready for creation. उसमें क्या चाहिए? What do we need for creation? We go to the doctor. We take the pills. We are ready. Now these people, 10,000 of them, their father, for 5 manvantars, 6 manvantars, poor thing was doing tapasya. Then he got 10,000 sons from a lady who was doing tapasya. She was nothing but a divine celestial being. And now they have come to the same place where their forefather Pracetas had done tapasya to get Dakhsa. And they sat there for years and years and years to do tapasya. They come out and this man is saying, you're not fit for creation. My God, then what are we? And then we crib and complain about the world. I think instead of pointing fingers everywhere, we should point fingers here. We should tell we are the demons who spoil the world. What kind of a tap? Can anybody say that, okay, this is the tap I went into, and when I was ready, then only I stepped into procreation? न तो दवाई भी भूल गए क्या खाते हैं. They give you tablets now. Folic acid, हाँ, folic acid. See? And then ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या progesterone and कौन सा progesterone क्या होता है? I've forgotten. The injections of hormones, and we are fit. Look at our thought, look at the shallow level of our existence, and look at our rich history. What are we if we are not the deteriorated version of our divine ancestors? And then we cry foul about what's happening around the world. That is why they say, point here and make the change, and the world will become a better place. You are feeding into this world this trash and rubbish. What kind of an offspring are you putting in the world? खुद confused, वो दूसरा और ज़्यादा confused. And what will happen फिर? Destruction. So this is what he's saying. Narad in so many words are saying, go back, useless, don't even go. You proceed with the work of creation. Suitable for you. How will you proceed with the work of creation? And now these poor fellows who have stood there for ages doing the tapasya have a self-doubt. They are so scared. They said, what? And they start thinking. They start thinking, the single person, the country and the body they're talking about is my body. The single person is the Lord. Do we know him? No. This country is the body of duality. And then Lord. And who is this woman? It's our intellect. जो कभी किस desire के पीछे भागती है, कभी किस desire के पीछे भागती है. We are always running about after objects of senses, right? Lured, our intellect, our mind is totally running about one thing, this gratification in every form. Gratification from children's performance, gratification from husband's promotion, gratification for the whatever we have done as an independent entity. That is all. We are running after our sense objectives. So this is this woman who is running around after various men. And who is this loyal husband? Forgetting our true nature, we follow the intellect. Don't we follow the intellect? Don't we follow the desires, thinking of them to be real? This woman who is not even loyal to one particular desire. We keep changing our desires. Ye mil gaya to wo chahiye, wo mil gaya to wo chahiye. My God, this is a loyal woman, literally. So they are saying women assuming different forms at will and approaching different people all the time. And you, forgetting your real essence, are running after her. Sense gratifications. And what is the river running in both the directions? This is the river of Maya. जहाँ पे there is no constant creation. Creation and destruction go hand in hand. आपको लगता है today you are happy, tomorrow you will be sad. Because you are going after the outer world, you have not recognized the self. And then, house of this 25 materials? This Purusha we don't realize. We think that 25 materials which we have done the creation, right? In Sarga, is me. And we think this house is me, and we forget that free agent, the Purusha, and we think that we are free. We are not. We don't even recognize the Purusha. And who is the swan? There are certain swans, right? There are certain swans who can separate the milk from water, right? So how? We have to work on separating the spirit from the material, the stool, the matter. Are we able to do it? No. Are we able to say, yes, this is me and this is matter? We think we are the matter. So he's saying, kahan se? Don't procreate, please. He is joining his hands and telling those people, don't stop. you're going to cause a disaster. And what is the sharp stone? This is time. It's sharp, it's sturdy, it is edgy. And none of the fruits that we achieve are eternal. What is the only eternal thing that we achieve? Prabhu Naam, Prabhu Bhakti. Other than that, is anything eternal? Anything that you have here, will you take it with you? कहते थे से सेम ना कि कफन में जेब नहीं होती. और हम full life we'll spend thinking that everything is eternal, everything we are achieving, all our achievements will take with us. No. Nothing will go with you. No relations, no material gains, no achievements, no attachments, nothing. You will go alone, and time is that sharp thing, It is cutting your life slowly and slowly and slowly without your knowledge. It's shredding it away. And one day you'll go. What will you take? Nothing that you have invested in. You'll go alone. What will go with you? Something you have not invested time on. So, empty-handed literally. And have you understood the omniscient fathers? Do you even understand what the omniscient fathers are saying? What was the omniscient father? Omniscient father. These are our Shastras. Have you understood what they are trying to tell you? They are there everywhere. What understanding do you have? Nothing. So Narad is not scolding us right now. हमारे साथ में तो पता नहीं वो क्या करता. He is scolding those divine sages, 10,000 in number, who actually stood in Narayan Sarovar, Narayan Sar for eternity, and yet they have been stopped. And when they heard all this, they realized that he is right. We should not go into the material world. We should go in the quest of that single person, the Lord. And you know what they did? They ditched the work of procreation. They said, Daksh, Papa, sorry. And they went away. 10,000 of his sons. Now Daksh is waiting. Hopefully, so many Manvantars he waited to start creation. The Lord gave him direction and his sons are gone. Who made them go away? Narad Muni. Now he's very agitated. He does not know what to do. He is so agitated that Brahmaji comes down. And he says, don't worry. It's all right. Have more sons. So he says, take it. So he has 1,000 more sons now. 1,000, they are called the Haryas, my pronunciation, I can't get the pronunciation right. Haryasvahas and Sabalasvas. Okay? So they are there. Now thousands of sons come into existence again. Now these 1,000 do the same thing because it is like the age-old tradition, right? You go to Narayan Sagar or Narayan Sarovar or Narayan Sar and you dip and you stand and you do tapasya. So now the 1,000 sons are sent again by Daksh. Because uske pehle, so till you have done tapa to purify yourself, Daksh does not have the courage to go on with creation. He does not want to create destruction. So he says, go. Again he sends them there. Again they finish their tap. Again they come out. And this time Narad does not have to go and say too much. For them he explained everything. He says, see, as younger brothers, you should follow your elder brothers.
God.
So why should you go back? Your elder brothers have already chalked out a path for you. So please, what kind of a brother would not follow the path of an elder brother? And these thousands, they said, yes, we should follow the path of our elder brother. And again, namaste to Daksh and he goes away. Now Daksh by now has lost his patience. Anybody would, right? Won't we? हिम्मत करके दिखाओ किसी के बच्चे को सन्यासी बनाने की. Sannyasi nahi, not only sannyasi, you try to divert a child towards God. If the parents see that the child is getting to feel love, they'll pull that child away from the class. So, Daksh ke to bhai, what, 11,000 sons. हमारा तो एक जाता है तो भी हमें, we can't stand it. Can you imagine your child in a sannyasi's robe? Who? Mayhem. In spite of the fact that he'll get a wife, he'll forget you. You want him to get married. No problem. But no, dare you turn towards God, dare you don an orange robe. So of course we understand how Daksh must be feeling, right? We don't want our child to become a sannyasi, right? That is not the agenda at all. Bhagwan ठीक है, time pass. Time मिले तो कर लो, अभी नहीं, पहले ये करो. So again Daksh was at a higher level, but he was a higher level version of us only. So he came back to fight with Narad Muni. And he cursed Narad Muni. ऐसा नहीं कि हाथ जोड़ के बोले कि देखो आपने मेरे बच्चों को भगवान से मिला दिया, नहीं. He cursed Narad Muni. And that is a normal thing, huh? You should always be prepared. If you're walking on the path of God, they say be prepared for the worst to come. Short of people coming and slapping you, everything will happen. And soon somebody will come and slap you also. If you're ready to walk the path of God, be ready to get beaten up also. This kind of a path it is. So Daksha went, and whom? Narad Muni. Who is Narad Muni? The sages of the sage. The most dear to Lord Vishnu. He cursed. He said, you useless. In the words he used, he cursed him. And he said, from now on, you will not be able to stay in one place for more than 2 shans. You will be going around all the time, because what you do is when you stay in one place, you start influencing people in the wrong direction. So people like you should not be staying in one place. तुम घूमते ही रहोगे, you won't have enough time to talk to anybody to feed in God into his mind. But now Daksha is also very logical, okay? Now Daksha is not like us. Emotionally he is not telling कि Narad Muni आपने गलत किया. He has a very beautiful logic to what he is saying, because what he is saying, ultimately I agree with what you are saying. But the path you are choosing is different from my path. So he says, appearing in the garbs of a holy man, O wicked one, you have done a great disservice to our youngsters. कैसे बोल रहा है ना, देखो, our youngsters who were all virtuous, in that you showed them the path of the Lord. You have ruined their interests, O sinful one, in both the worlds here as well as hereafter, while they have not yet been exposed from their they have not yet completed the service of the threefold obligation. Now there's a difference between him and us. We'll say, my God, sannyas le liya. He'll say, unko 3 काम करने थे, उसके बाद sannyas लेना था. Now what are the 3 works? Nor had they pondered over the futility of the worldly activities. See, he is not angry that Narad had shown him the path of the Lord. He is angry that you have shown him the path of the Lord and you have not let them do these 3 things. Now these, what are the 3 things? That twice born class hota. What are the twice borns? Ek to you are born. And ek, when you take up the Shastras, you are born again. Some say they are Brahmins who wear the Janehus, but Janehu Dharan is when you have taken up the cause of the Lord. Every member of the twice born class so declares the Veda with a death to the Rishis, the Mains and the gods. ठीक है? ऋषि के प्रति आपका डेथ है, आपके पूर्वजों के प्रति आपका डेथ है, एंड भगवान के प्रति आपका डेथ है. उसको पूरा करे बिना उसको संन्यास कैसे भेज दिया आपने? What is the first death? By studying the Vedas with a vow of strict celibacy. Now he is not saying, why did you send my child? He could have had a family life. No. He said he was supposed to study the Vedas with a vow of full celibacy, full brahmacharya. He was supposed to study the Vedas. That is his debt towards the rishis, because he is supposed to take it forward, the knowledge. He has not done that. Second, again, the debt towards the mains. We are supposed to take forward the creation. Once he is established, he is supposed to fill the earth with beautiful, virtuous children. That is the debt towards our ancestors. To keep on going, keep the life and all going on, the world going on. That he has not done. And third, what is it? Performing sacrifices as a debt towards the gods. They are supposed to pray. They are supposed to do yagnas. Because how do the gods eat? The god eat through the yagnas. हमने आजकल यज्ञ बंद कर दिए हैं. We don't do any yagnas. We are so कि क्या है? That is why the gods are getting weak, right? They don't go around and have food here and there. They are fed only to the prayers we offer, to the prasad we offer. That goes to them. So we are saying that demonic tendencies are rising because you're not feeding the gods. If you're not feeding the divine, what will happen? You're feeding the dogs. So he's saying these 3 things they have not done. That is why I'm angry. And they have not entered the world and realized the futility of the world themselves. Now if I tell you and you listen, is it better? It is good also. There is nothing wrong. But if you experience it and then you leave the world, you'll never come back to it. You might have ki kya pata. that doubt if somebody tells you. But you experience it and you say, it's futile, leave it. You'll never come back to the world. So he's saying, see, 3 responsibilities they have not done. Plus, they have not even pondered over the futility of the world. They have not pondered over the futility of the worldly activities and were thus unqualified for taking to the path of renunciation, because the path of renunciation is no small path. For that also you have to be qualified. He is saying, my children were not qualified. Agar wo qualified hote, I would have had no problems. But these things they have not done. They have not renounced the world on their own. They have been influenced by you. They are not qualified. So now this is Daksha, okay? So his arguments are far more superior than our arguments to a person who is turning their children into saints. Mercilessly unsettling in this way the mind of youngsters, you have tarnished the fair name of the Lord, and yet you shamelessly move in the midst of countless as one of us, one of his attendants, bearing you, who has trampled our love and actually shown enmity to us, who are not enemies. The votaries of the Lord are undoubtedly ever anxious to shower their grace on all living beings. Vairagya, freedom from attachment to the world, cannot be engendered in the mind of people in this way by you, who has assumed the guise of an ascetic without true wisdom. Even though you regard Vairagya as conducive, but as means of, it is conducive, it is a means of cutting the attachments. But a man cannot realize bitterness, that is painful consequences, of the pleasures of senses without tasting them. This is a very big point. Till you taste the pleasure of senses and realize how bitter they are, true Vairagya will not set in. So he's saying, don't influence. Let them experience it. Don't say ki chhod do. No. Live the world. That is why in our Shastras, there are 4 ashrams. Again and again I keep telling you that Sannyas ashram is the last ashram, which many have started taking as the first, which is not necessary. Our Shastras don't speak that language. They say experience it and leave it yourself as futile. But there are decorums for all the ashrams. Neither do we follow the decorums, nor we understand what is sannyas, nor we understand what is vanaprasth, nor we understand the complexity and the responsibility of the grihastha ashram, nor we know how to raise a proper brahmachari. But this man knew. He's telling him point by point that this is what I wanted them to do. After that, they would have left the world as futile and bitter on their own. So his objective is no different from Narad Muni's. The way he did it is wrong. So indirectly they are telling us also that does not mean that you have to jump to the sannyas ashram directly. Easily go through all the ashrams, but in the right manner. Every ashram has a rule book. Follow that rule book and live the ashram, so that you are qualified to move into the next ashram. Today's brahmachari is not qualified to move into a grihastha ashram. A grihastha is not qualified to create, and a grihastha is not qualified to move into vanaprastha ashram, or never ready to go to the vanaprastha ashram. And sannyas is far-fetched. Cannot even imagine sannyas, because attachments, even at the deathbed, the person will be totally attached. So what we have we have shaken the foundation itself. So if Daksha says this to Nara, that is possible. But any of us cannot, because we have actually shaken the foundation of even the brahmachari ashram. And we are responsible because we, the mothers, take care of the brahmacharis. And it is a very important point we have to think about. So, saying this, he says, inasmuch as you have done an offense against us for the second time, O fool, responsible for breaking the continuity of our race, therefore you will have no halt as you wander through the spheres. So cursed. Now Naradji was more powerful than Daksha, right? He could have cursed Daksha back, but he did not do anything.
But isn't Naradji also son of Brahma and Daksha
Yes.
also son of Brahma?
Now Daksh there are 2 Dakshas, okay?
The previous one was
Yes,
son
yes.
of Brahma. Okay.
No. Previous one was son of Brahma.
And
This
this
is the
one is
same Daksh
Born
who
as
has
son of
Pracetas.
And Pracetas are the same people who were 10, who look alike, who think alike.
Think alike,
and
and
they married the same woman.
yes, she was the daughter of the woods. So that Daksha is the son of Brahma, which came in the
So
first
they're brothers
Manvantar.
Actually,
Huh?
they're brothers.
Everybody is brothers. If you look at
Okay.
it right now, when you start looking at the creation, this is the entire chart which I've drawn yesterday sitting, because the next is very complicated where they start talking about. So now Daksh has cursed Narad. We'll come to that. And he says, Narad Muni is very pleased. What is the problem? He says, ठीक है, Daksh ने curse कर दिया. And because Narad Muni's objective was very different. Daksh has cursed him and he is very agitated. Narad Muni has accepted the curse because a rolling stone does not gather any moss, isn't it? If you keep rolling, उस पे काई जमेगी क्या? So it is conducive for Narad also. What we do is when we stay in one place, we form attachment. मेरा घर, मेरे friends, मेरा ये, मेरा वो. For a person who lives out of the suitcase, where is the attachment? Is there an attachment? One motel to another motel. Do you get attached to your motels? Because you are a rolling stone there. We are going to Europe, 15 days trip, 5 hotels. Do you get attached to any of the hotel and say, no, this is my hotel and I'll decorate it? No. That is the same way we should live our lives. We are not permanent over here. We are supposed to live like rolling stones, and that is when we will not gather any kai, any moss. So Narad Muni was pleased. He said, no problem. You have been very grateful. This is not a curse. This is a blessing in disguise. Now that I am not going to be stationary in one place, I have so many benefits. I won't have an ashram. I won't have the headache of ashram. I won't have disciples. I won't have to nurture and groom them. I won't have a family. Won't have to be sucked into the family business. So he said, all in all, it frees me, it liberates me. So you have actually blessed me. So you have freed me from all responsibility by saying that you will not stay in one place for longer than a certain duration. Now Narad Muni is happy, he goes away. And that's why we say, Narad Muni is continuously moving from one place to another, saying Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. That's it. Because he has been freed by Daksh of all responsibilities. Now Daksh, his work is not done, right? He has to create 11,000 sons gone. See, having good sons and losing them is a problem, right? It is very, very sad. So it is better to have sons who are nalaik. It does not cause any agony, right? It does not cause attachment also. So there is a blessing. If your son is ruthless and horrible, thank God. You have saved me from attachment. Because it is very difficult not to get attached to a good child, right? So that is also, he says, my God, why did you give me such amazing sons? It is a curse for me now. 11,000 sons gone. Then Brahmaji descends. He said, listen, don't fret. See, your sons are taken away, right? 11,000 of your sons are always converted into monks. So why don't you do this time, instead of having sons, have daughters? They won't be converted into monks by anybody. Oh, now Daksha is fine. And this time they have 60 daughters. And these 60 daughters are the mothers of all that we see around us. 60 of them are the mothers of all that we see around us, be it the plants, be it the birds, be it the animals, everything is nothing but these 60 daughters. 10 of the daughters were married to Dharma, right? And 2 daughters were married to Bhuta, 2 daughters to Angira, 2 daughters to Krashvaha. 27 daughters were married to the moon, right? Out of which 1 was Rohini. 13 daughters were married to Kashyap Muni. And from them, everything that we see in that tangible form today is an offspring. So if anybody is interested, I'll type it out and send this. This is the family tree. Full, which is explained in these following chapters. But to summarize it, everything, even the emotions, like Drona, see, Bhanu married to Dharma was, one of the wives was Vasu, okay? 13 of them. Her son was Drona. His was married to Abhimati. And Abhimati's children were the different kind of emotions. So this kind of a link. Now, from emotions to what we see, what we touch, what we feel, the sankalpas, the celestial, all the planetary conditions, all the planets, Rahu, Ketu, everything has come out from these 60 daughters of Daksh. So at the end of it, we are all from there. These animals and the plants, can we treat them ruthlessly? They are our brothers and sisters. Briefly, if we look at Kashyap, okay, we'll just see. Vinata, one of the daughters. Vinata is the mother of Arun and Garud. Okay? Kadru, the mother of Nagas. Patangi, the birds. Yamini, the moths. Okay? And if you go on, Shastha, the horses and donkeys who have uncloven hoofs. Okay? And Arishta, the mother of Gandharvas. Surasa, the Surasa, not that Surasa, okay? The mother of the Rakshasas. Ela, the vegetable kingdom. Muni, the celestial nymphs. Krodhavasa, the mother of reptiles. Tamra, the hawks, vultures and all, she is the mother. Surabhi, the mothers of buffalo. And all the beasts where the hoofs are not parted, right? Cloven. Samara, the wild animals. Timi, the aquatic creatures. Diti, the mothers of the god. And Aditi, the mothers of the god. And Diti, the mothers of the Rakshasas. This is only Kashyap's, I'm telling you. If you go into the depth of all, it is mesmerizing. And when you start writing it down, you realize that, my goodness,
Nothing has been left behind.
nothing has been left behind. Plus, it is important to write it down and understand because it's complicated. And everything that we see, feel, touch, know, tangible or intangible, is but from one. So can we be mean to anything around us, knowing this fact? Even the Suras and the Asuras. Now, again, Pariksit was amazed. Because Pariksit was told in great detail, iska beta ye, iska beta ye, iska beta ye. Whoever is interested can have a glance and you will know. And the moon did not have any offspring. Okay, moon was the only one who did not have any descendants. Why did the moon have no descendants? Because it was cursed by Dakhsa. We all know the story, right? Why did Dakhsa curse the moon?
Because he used to love one of his...
Partial towards Rohini.
Yeah.
So he said, ki tum to ekdam, you will wax and wane and all that, and you will just vanish. Nobody will be able to see your glow and all this. He was very angry. Then he pleaded, and then the waxing and the waning happened. There are many stories associated to the waxing and the waning of the moon, but this is one of the story. But in spite of having 25 daughters, he has no offsprings. He is the only one. So 25 daughters plus moon, no offspring. Other than that, everybody is responsible for what we see around us. With what vengeance and with what ruthlessness do we treat the planet and the environment and the animals? Can we actually, knowing this fact, that everybody is our brothers and sisters? Can we harm the animals in any way? Or should we protect them? Being this, they're siblings. We are siblings. One sibling eating the other sibling. One sibling destroying the other sibling. One sibling cutting the vegetations. What kind of... And this, we belong to such a religion which is showing us the oneness and diversity. Every time, the only effort of this book so far has been to show us that oneness where we see diversity. Isn't it? Different stories, different methods, different things, different... And they go on to such details to show the oneness. Because we are intelligent people, right? We need proof. We need diagrams. We need charts for just that. So how can we be cruel? How can we be unjust? How can we harm any living thing with this knowledge? Tell me. Think. That is why we always say all is one, all has come from one. Love everything, whether it's tangible or untangible. Now Shukdev Ji talks about all this to Pariksit, and with this he stops saying that although the gods had a guru called Brihaspati, later on they took their own nephew to be their guru. Who was this nephew? I'm forgetting the name. They took their own nephew to... Kaun tha iska nephew? What was it? Anybody remembers? Daitya, Twasta. Who was that head of the Daityas?
Shukracharya.
Not Shukracharya nahi hai isme.
Bali.
Not Bali. Where is it? I've written it. I've forgotten it now. So, okay. Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa. So what happened was, Pariksit is now, when Shukdev ji is narrating, he suddenly says, so this was the thing, the Devas, okay, the sons of Aditi had a guru called Brihaspati. But due to some reason, the guru left them. So they took Vishwarupa to be their guru, in spite of the fact that he was his nephew and he was the son of the daughter of Diti. And he was taken. So now Parikshit ji again stopped him. He said, but aisa kya kar diya? What did the Devas do that Brihaspati left them? What have they actually done wrong? Brihaspati was Devta's guru.
Yeah.
And he refused to be their guru anymore. And he left the Devtas because of anger. And in desperation, the Devtas needed a guru. They went to Vishwarupa. And Vishwarupa chose to become their guru in spite of... And why did they go to Vishwarupa? Vishwarupa was younger to them. He was the nephew, right? Now, Devtas are Aditi's sons, okay? Diti's sons are the Rakshasas. And she has one daughter also, whose name is Rachna. Rachna married Twasta. And Twasta and Rachna's child is Vishwarupa. So, us tarah se, he is the nephew, right? So, why, ek to nephew, plus he is a Rakshas or a Diti's son, why did were they so desperate that they had to make a Rakshas their guru? And the nephew, younger to them, all this, what happened? Aisa kya ho gaya? Ki Brihaspati left them. This we'll do in the next session. Because now he'll start telling what did the Devtas do wrong. That their guru left them. This is what was in store. Narrating each and every name and all is impossible sitting here. It'll take a long time. So skipped it. But I'll put it on the WhatsApp and send. Any questions, any learnings, any takeaways, anything that particularly touched your heart or shook you.
It's just helping me function how function better, in the sense that, okay, before the class you come with some kind of an apprehension, and then it just connects you to that self, and you feel that, okay, you go back fulfilled, you go back uplifted, and trying to make your life better and people's life better around. So it just gives you that string, that be connected and do the right thing.
I still don't get it. Like Naraji was such an elevated soul. Why did he knew what Daksh's plan is. He wanted to do the creation, procreation, all that stuff. He knew that this is going to happen, and this is the reason he has been praying for so many Manvantars. Then why, knowing all that, why did he deviated those 11,000 sons? What was he waiting for the girls to come?
Yes.
Because so that's why he wanted the boys to go away.
Yes, and plus Narad Muni would not do anything without a reason. First thing, he wanted the girls to come. And these girls, when you look at whom they married, because these people were already there.
Established.
Yes. Right? So they were all there, and through their union, a certain form of offspring was needed. At that point, you don't understand what is the need of the time. हम लोग कई बार गलत करते रहते हैं. We keep doing the wrong thing, and God keeps not, many a times He won't give us the result. And we think God is being unfair, or the sage is being unfair, time is being unfair. But that is not conducive for you. Don't we always do that? Now it was 60 daughters which had to be married to so many different people of different characteristics to get a certain kind of offspring which was needed in the world.
Okay. So, okay.
Right. But at the same time, Daksh was also not wrong. Both, when two learned people talk, they might be arguing, but both of them are giving you knowledge only. Narad Muni, send them away, because that was not their path. Narad Muni knows Adi, Madhya and Ant. For them, 11,000 of them were supposed to go into sannyas.
So what happened to them afterwards?
They merged into the Lord eventually.
Okay.
They left the world, now they renounced the world.
Okay.
Maybe we'll read about them later, but as of now, that is all
They're
that is.
gone. Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, Daksha is also giving us knowledge. He's telling us that kahin we read about total sannyas. You know why? Our granths were brought forth again when Buddhism was in full swing. Right? When did Shankaracharya come? Buddhism and all these other...
900
Right?
BC.
And these scriptures were not being read, were not being understood, and many people without understanding were taking into sannyas. Right? They would leave their families, they would leave everything, they would leave their responsibilities and go. Our Shastras nowhere tell us that that is the right path. See, if it is your calling, it will happen. But you cannot say that any of the 4 ashrams are inferior to the other ashrams. And it is nice to complete all the 4 ashrams and read sannyas, because you've experienced everything. At the same time, Narad Muni must have sent them off because probably they were ahead in their journey. Right? So they were already done with all this experience. They were fit to merge with the Lord. So when you look at the dialogues going on in our Shastras, they help us, you know how? They don't let us form a rigid opinion about anything. You realize it?
You become more fluid. And
You become
flexible.
fluid and accepting of all things.
All things.
You won't be rigid ki sannyas is wrong. You won't be rigid ki grihasthashram is wrong. It will never let you become rigid. It will talk in both languages always. Because the minute you become rigid, you are wrong. The minute you stop being lucid, stagnancy stinks. If you're not flowing, you'll stink. Lucidity is what is needed. So everywhere you'll see in our Shastras, they'll always have 2 views on the same situation. Because they're not saying this is wrong and this is right. Because nothing can be wrong, nothing can be right. And that statement with whosoever, whatsoever, thissoever, everything is Brahman. They're saying stop being judgmental. Just because you are sitting here, that does not mean the person who's not sitting here is wrong. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own path. The Lord knows best, right? Who are we to judge? Right? So that is the beauty. When you read these, you will realize the way they dabble so that you don't become rigid. No form of rigidity, because the minute you become rigid, you will turn away from your Satchidanand Swarup, because it covers everything. So one thought cannot be right, the other cannot be wrong, all is it. So both point of views are put forward depending on your journey, your vasana. Again they said, it is your vasana. Why she likes a Devi, or why she likes Ram, why she likes Krishna, or why she follows Buddhism is her own vasana. Nobody is allowed to judge there. You focus on the self, right? But what we normally do is we forget the self, we start focusing on everybody else and judging them. Not required. Improve yourself. You identify what your vasanas are. You identify what your flaws are. You identify what can make you better and connect you to your Satchidanand Swarup. That is where your journey ends. It is not your duty, nor in your control to change anybody else. He is there now to do his job. He'll do his job, you do your job. Your job, a flower's job, is to blossom. Now, the gardener's job is to do whatever he wants to do with the flower, right? It is a gardener, he might just pluck the flower when it is not blossomed also. Maybe he has an agenda. Or some gardeners will leave the flower, let it blossom and fall there only. Who is the flower to decide? The flower just has to blossom. What we do is, that is the problem in today's world. We are not blossoming, we are making sure that others blossom in a particular way. No, only this is the right way to blossom, and that is what causes terrorism. And our Shastras are very careful because they know how fanatic people can get when they talk about religion. So that's why they dabble with 2 all the time. He said, no, ye bhi sahi hai, ye bhi sahi hai, ye bhi galat hai, ye bhi galat hai. So they will never let you hold on to one point and walk.
They always tell in the ultimate the goal is to just chant, right?
The goal is
Bhakti,
khud ki taraf hai.
Bhakti, yeah.
Your goal is towards yourself, not towards anybody else.
Not to get.
We are not responsible. We are not supposed to say, तुम ऐसे ही करो, तुम वैसे ही करो. अरे उनकी वास्ता, उनकी इच्छा, उनकी life. You know yourself the best. Work on yourself. Finish. Full stop. Anything else?
What's the limit of Grahastha to enter the next Vanaprastha? Brahmacharya, you get married and you enter Grahastha.
Grahastha Amma.
To Vanaprastha?
Vanaprastha Amma, when we look at the Shastras, so far, whatever.
So we'll be having attachment till we die. So we can't leave
No, Amma.
Grahastha.
The thing is, wherever we are, suppose now physically we don't have to leave anything because we are not nurtured in that manner from the very beginning. We have not practiced austerities like the sages used to practice in Gurukul, staying in the jungle. During the Brahmacharya, they were trained for Vanaprastha. And Vanaprastha was a training for sannyas. But we have not. But when we should know when our responsibilities are done. Most of the kings, no matter how educated they are, they will
leave the country to their sons and they go to the
yeah, but when do they leave their sons? When they are mature enough, when they see my child is old enough and this right values have already been inculcated and he will take care of the world properly. That's it. They don't even wait for the marriage or the children. They don't leave. Now in today's world it is not physically leaving, but it is
detaching.
We are done. Then all our attention should be towards salvation. Our responsibilities have been fulfilled when we have raised the child up and he is capable of taking care of the self. We have given all the values, we have done. Once the child is independent, we enter Vanaprastha ashram. Once the child is independent, we enter Vanaprastha ashram. And Vanaprastha ashram say, once we are totally ready, without attachment, that is when we take sannyas. Because even when you enter Vanaprastha ashram, the attachments linger on. It takes time. But consciously when you know that, okay, the effort is done, now the attachments are gone, then you say, okay, fully a sannyasi. Vanaprastha ashram is just the preparation phase between the Grahastha ashram and the sannyasa ashram. But as per the Shastras, when the person, whoever you are responsible to, is ready to take care of himself in the right manner, your job is done. What we do is, नहीं अभी इनको बड़ा करना है, इनकी शादी करनी है, इनके बच्चों को पालना है, इनके बच्चों को पढ़ाना है. मतलब it never ends. If we keep going on like that, it will never end. We have to know where we have to stop. And then we can indulge, we can help. But we have to it is a very thin line. Working, nobody is stopping. But our attachment has to stop. And slowly we have to see the world as our own. Not only our children, not only our grandchildren. That is what is my understanding from the scriptures so far.
Like Bharadvaja, Tri and all those.
All of them, Amma. The minute the children are independent, none of them wait for the marriage also. Take it, done.
If it is happening, it's happening. Otherwise, the time is done.
Yes.
Time is over.
So this is what our Shastras say. Anything else? Anything else? This is what was the session.
In fact, I really feel that part which really touched me big time today was that